This is the Hub.
Welcome to the Hub. If it matters to you, it matters to us. My name is Mucheru. This is the second part of a series on analyzing Kenya's development opportunities linked to the population. So a meeting was held recently to discuss Kenya's chances to benefit from the demographic dividend. The demographic dividend is a temporary opportunity for faster economic growth that begins when fertility rates fall, leading to a larger proportion of working-age adults and fewer young dependents. In 2012, the government of Kenya passed a landmark policy to manage its rapid population growth. Dr. Josephine Kibarumbai is the Director General at the National Council for Population and Development.
Yeah, this multi-sectoral forum on demographic dividends, you've heard a lot about demographic dividends in Kenya. The aim of this forum is to come up with a roadmap on how to implement the different interventions which are expected to move the country to where we can harness the dividend. So, as you are aware, to reap the dividends, we need to invest in health, education, economic growth and governance. These are very cross-cutting issues which do not involve one ministry, do not involve just the national, but also the county government. That's why we are all here, different sectors, to work together towards a roadmap. Then we'll come up with an implementation plan of that roadmap, which will say health, you need to invest in 1, 2, 3 as the key areas. Of course, health is doing a lot of things, but what are the priority things which can move us towards a dividend? In education, the transition rates and all those, the TVET, there are many things which they can do and they will continue doing. But what are the priority 1, 2, 3, 4, which in the next 5 years we can actually say we did it this way, these were the priorities, we invested in them, and we are here moving towards where the Asian tigers are.
With additional investments in health and education and economic initiatives to facilitate job creation, Kenya may be able to experience the rapid economic growth. According to the Planning and Statistics Principal Secretary Saitoti Torome, Kenya has potential for high economic growth.
Countries like in Malaysia, Singapore, they invested heavily on infrastructure. And when they invested heavily on infrastructure and even energy, they were able to attract a lot of investment, and this investment created a lot of jobs. So that is what we are focusing as a country. We provide infrastructure, we transform our economy, and we create a lot of jobs. Like for the country to be industrialized, we need to generate a lot of energy. We need to come up with good infrastructure, and we need to come up with better education system. At least we are doing better. We are not where we were in some years back, because our aim is Vision 2030. So we have set specific targets for Vision 2030, and to attain those targets, that's why we have what we call the flagship project, like the lab set. Just imagine if you were to accomplish the lab set project, a railway line, a pipeline, a port at Lamu, that one can actually double the GDP of this country. And when you double the GDP, we shall also double employment. So all these are actually projects that are actually long-term, and they can create a lot of employment. So employment is just a matter of making sure that our economy is performing, it is growing, and when the economy is growing and performing, it is creating employment opportunities. So that is that's how you look at all employment.
According to Varis Mugo from the Kenya Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis, Kenya should expect high economic growth.
We have the Vision 2030, which is a guiding policy aspect in terms of how we want to become a middle-income country. And it's very clear that we want to be a globally competitive and prosperous country with high quality of life by 2030. And then again, to be a newly middle-income country for all citizens. How to achieve this dividend? We have the wheels, or what we call the inputs. First, we start with what we have there as population structure, and we have investments in education, health, governance, and economy, which now leads to us to achieve or to harness this demographic dividend. We have the issues around efficiency, especially in terms of our financial efficiency. We need to have that as a country. We need to have a global competitive industry in terms of investment, in terms of ICT. I know in Africa or in Kenya, in the world, we have one of the best ICT progresses being experienced.
You're listening to The Hub here on KBC Nairobi. If it matters to you, it matters to us. Let's take a short break.
The Hub. Your number one radio. KBC English Service.
Welcome back. This is The Hub. What matters to you matters to us. You can get in touch with us on Facebook and on Twitter at KBC English and at Carol Mucheru. According to the Planning and Statistics Principal Secretary Saitoti Torome, Kenya has potential for high economic growth.
One of the long-term solutions to creating employment to everybody is actually diversification of our economy. That is why instead of relying on one or two export like tea and horticulture, we try to come up with more products that we can export. And secondly, it is value addition to our raw materials, because when you add value to our raw materials, we shall establish industries, and those industries will be able to observe more, either at the graduate level or even at technical level. So all those are the efforts that are being made. So when you look at the issue of unemployment, you have to look at it holistically, the economic transformation that we can do so that more jobs can be generated and they observe much of the people with the skills in the labor market.
If Kenya continues to make substantial investments in reproductive health and family planning, fertility levels may continue to decline and children will be more likely to achieve better basic levels of health.
We've also been engaging the county members of the county assembly for the last year or so, because we know also when the health team takes their budget to the assembly, some of these so-called soft things, soft issues may be thrown out by the assembly. And we've reached a point where even some counties now are actually budgeting for family planning. If you look at for instance, the Kitui budget, I think it's like 47 or 67 million for the family planning program. So we need to work from both the county government as well as the national government. The national government, the Ministry of Health also got again a budget line. When the health was devolved, it was very difficult for the national government to continue procuring commodities for KEMSA to distribute. So we've been discussing at both levels.
Dr. Josephine Kibarumbai is the Director General at the National Council for Population and Development. That was The Hub. What matters to you matters to us. See you again right here next Tuesday. I'm Carol Mucheru. Keep tuned.
You are listening to The Hub.